So friends, let's see this delicious and very easy to prepare pineapple sheera. So you can follow the steps and make it with me. So let's go through the ingredients. Here I have 1 cup of very fine semolina or rava. It's easily available in stores. If you don't have this, then you can grind the thick or the medium rava in a mixer jar till you get a fine consistency. This is 1 cup of fresh pineapple cut into small cubes, 1 cup of sugar, 2.5 cups of water, 3/4 of a cup of clarified butter or ghee, a few strands of kesar or saffron, and some orange food color, just a pinch, but this is completely optional. Now, I've not put the heat on or the flame on, but I'm adding the sugar and the water to a vessel. And now I'm going to put the heat on or the flame on, and we're going to stir the sugar till it completely dissolves in the water. Now keep your flame between low and medium and stir till the sugar is almost dissolved. So you can see that the sugar is almost dissolved. Now we're going to add all of the pineapple into this syrup. We're going to give it a gentle stir. And now I'm going to add a few strands of saffron. And I'm also going to add this pinch of orange color. Now you can also use yellow color. I like this bright orange color. And alternatively, you can also use some gel color, food color, if you don't have the powder form. And now mix everything together and let it come to a boil on a low to medium flame. So while that is happening, I've taken a large kadai or a pot and I'm going to add the ghee to this. Now I've melted the ghee in my microwave. It's easier to work and it heats up faster. Now once the ghee is nice and hot on a low to medium flame, I'm going to add the semolina. Now you can see I'm pouring it right into the ghee and not into the sides. And now I'm going to fry the semolina on a medium flame, stirring continuously till I get the aroma of the rava or the semolina, or at least for 5 whole minutes. Now this step is very important to get the perfect sheera. So keep stirring this for about 5 minutes on a low to medium flame. You can put a timer on your watch or your phone. This will make the sheera really light and nice. So now you can see that the sugar syrup is nice and boiled. So you can turn off the heat. Now bring all of this rava or semolina to the center of the pan. And now pour this liquid. Now be very careful because it's piping hot. So stand away from the flame and pour a little at a time. And now you can pour the whole thing. And do not stir this at all, but just cover it with a lid and cook it on a medium flame for a whole 2 minutes. Now we're going to open this only when you see that all of the liquid has evaporated, and then give it a gentle stir. And now you can stir everything and bring it all together. So the liquid has all evaporated, but it's nice and moist and fluffy. So stir it well. And you'll find that the mixture starts to leave the sides of the pan. And now we're going to cover and cook this on a very low flame for another 2 minutes. Now after 2 minutes, again give it a very gentle stir. Bring everything together. And again we're going to cover and cook this for about 1 minute, again on a very low flame. After 1 minute, just turn off the heat and let it rest. Let the residue heat. Cook the sheera a little further for about a minute. And now our sheera is all ready. So just stir it one last time, scrape off the sides. In fact, that is the most yummiest part because it's nice and crunchy or crispy a little bit. So it's a mixture of soft and crispy. And now you will get the beautiful pineapple aroma. So no need of adding any artificial essence. And our delicious pineapple sheera is all ready. Can't wait to dig in. Now I'm going to show you how I like to serve it. So here I've taken a small bowl, preferably a glass or a steel bowl. I'm going to fill it up to the brim. And then I'm going to press it down like this. You can also apply a little bit of ghee to the bowl. And then you're just going to invert the bowl into whatever serving dish you wish to serve it in. And then it comes off very easily. And then I just like to garnish it with one of the pineapple pieces from the sheera because it's cooked so well. Press it down a bit. You can also put some cashew nuts or whatever, and a little mint leaf just to give it that little bit of green. And there it is, our lovely pineapple sheera. Let's dig in and enjoy. So friends, make this recipe as soon as you can get your hand on some fresh pineapple and let me know how it turns out. Of fine Rava or semolina. Now if you don't have the fine Rava or semolina, you can use the medium or the thick one and just grind it in your mixer pot till it becomes nice and fine. Now this is 1 vati of jaggery or gur. You can use any type of gur or jaggery. This is 3 cups of water. Now I'm using this vati measure, but if you don't have vatis, you can use the cup measure. So this is about half a cup of mixed dry fruits. So I have cashew nuts, almonds and kishmish or raisins. I'm going to be using a pinch of salt and about 10 teaspoons of ghee or clarified butter. Now this is half a teaspoon of elaichi or cardamom powder. That is, I've used 3 small green elaichis or cardamoms, and this is 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg or zaifal powder grated. So these are all the ingredients. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to first add the grated jaggery or gur to my water. And we're just going to mix it. And then I'm going to put it onto, so first give it a nice mix like this. Now I've grated the jaggery just using, a sharp knife. And now I'm just going to put it on a low to medium heat and I'm going to stir this till all of the jaggery dissolves and it comes to a gentle boil. Now turn off the heat and now we're going to strain this liquid because sometimes the jaggery does have a little bit of impurities. So give it a good strain. So now in my pan I've taken the rava and I'm going to dry roast the rava for at least 2 minutes on a low to medium flame, stirring continuously till the rava gives a nice aroma and it turns a little light golden brown in color. Now once that is done, turn off the heat and transfer it to another pan or another bowl. And now with your clean dry kitchen napkin, just wipe out your pan. Now we're going to use the same pan in which I'm going to put 4 teaspoons of clarified butter or ghee. And now I'm going to add my dry fruits, that is the cashew nuts, the almonds and the raisins or the kishmish, and I'm just going to lightly fry them till the cashew nuts and the almonds turn a little golden brown in color. So for say a half a minute or a minute. Now once that is done, just take off all the fried dry fruits. And now I'm going to add another 4 teaspoons of clarified butter or ghee. And now I'm going to add the roasted semolina or the rava into the ghee. And now we're going to fry this really well in the ghee. Now I'm going to add this zaifar powder or nutmeg powder as well as the cardamom or elaichi powder and again mix everything really well together. I'm also going to add a pinch of salt, just a pinch. Fry this really well. And now we're going to add this jaggery water. It's a little bit hot, so be careful. And once you add the water, do not stir at all. but just cover it immediately, and we're going to cook this on a low to medium heat for just half a minute. Now after half a minute, you will see that everything has come together really well. And now we're going to stir it, and you will see that it starts leaving the sides of the vessel and all comes together. So keep stirring it for another minute, add the dry fruits back, and mix everything really well together. So it's got a lovely color because of the jaggery. Now if you use a darker jaggery like a Goa jaggery or palm sugar jaggery, you'll get a much darker color. So now mix it, and we're going to cook this for at least another whole minute. Stirring well. And now what I like to do is I just like to add another 2 teaspoons of clarified butter. Then I turn off the flame and I just put the cover and let it cool down for another 5 minutes. And now it's all ready to serve. Our lovely Godacha Sheera is ready. So I've just taken a bowl. I've just greased the bowl a little with some clarified butter. Just a little, a drop of clarified butter. And now I'm just going to mix all of this Sheera nicely together. So then I'm going to fill this about 3/4 of the size of the bowl. And then I'm going to press it down nicely. Don't forget to grease the bowl. That way the Sheera will come out nicely. Or if you have a mold, like an aluminium mold, then you can use that. And then just put it on the plate, and it just slips off very easily. You can just pat it once or twice, and there it is. And then you can just garnish it with some nuts like I've done with some cashew nuts. And that's it, guys. Your lovely Sheera using jaggery is ready, and it is super, super delicious. So friends, let's make this delicious and healthy recipe today. So let's see the ingredients. Here I have 1 cup or just 100 grams of whole wheat or lapshi, and can you believe it? This cost me only 10 rupees to buy. It's so reasonable. Now here I have 3/4 of a cup of grated jaggery or jaggery or gur or gourd, 1 cup of thick coconut milk. I'll leave a link of how I make coconut milk at home. 1 cup of hot water, 2 to 3 tablespoons of clarified ghee or butter, half a teaspoon of cardamom powder, and a few cashew nuts. So this is also homemade lychee powder. That's it, guys. This is what we need. Now first I'm going to heat my pan. I'm going to add the ghee. Just spread the ghee around. Let it be on low to medium. Once our ghee is a bit hot, we're going to add this rava, and we're going to fry this in the ghee for a whole 1 to 2 minutes. Now this is really important because then it will really, the cooking time will also be less, and plus it will get cooked really nice and nicely, so that it becomes nice and soft, and it won't be chewy and hard. Now once it's nicely cooked, we're going to add some nice hot water. So I microwave the water, but you can of course take it on the stove top, but you need piping hot water. This will help in cooking the lapshi even better. So now stir it well. Now we're going to add the jaggery or the jaggery, and we're going to stir it in till all of it melts. That is, all of the gur or the gourd melts. So this took me about a whole minute. So this also, in this time period that the jaggery is melting, your lapshi is also getting cooked in the hot water. For those of you who don't know what this is, it's made out of whole wheat, and it's really healthy, but it takes a little longer time to cook, and it's a little bit chewy. That's why you need to cook it for a longer period. Now you see that all the jaggery has melted. I'm going to add just a pinch of salt. That just brings out the flavor of the dish. And again stir it in well. Now we're going to add the coconut milk. You can, if you don't have a fresh coconut milk, you can also use the packet one, that is the powder. Just put it in hot water and make that, whatever suits you. Now I'm going to add the cardamom powder to give a lovely flavor to this Suji. And we're going to add a few cashew nuts. The cashew nuts are completely optional. And now all we have to do is just cook this to the right consistency. So stir everything in well. And then you're just going to cover and cook this on a very low flame for 15 to 20 minutes and keep checking on it, keep stirring it in between. And you can see that it's all ready and nice and cooked. It has to be really soft. It should be a melt in the mouth and not chewy. If it continues to be chewy, then add a little bit more of hot water and let it cook. And that's it. And all you have to do is just put it into a beautiful serving bowl. Now to make it look even more decorative, I just added a few saffron strands. That's completely optional, but it looks really pretty with it. So I hope you're going to try out this recipe. It's healthy and delicious. So first I'm going to take one of the mangoes, the Alfonso Apus mango, and I'm just going to cut it up this way into slices. And then I'm just going to make these small little cubes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make say half a cup of cubes and about 1 cup of mango puree. So with the second mango, I'm just going to peel off the skin like this, or the peel like this, and I'm just going to take out all the pulp. And then I'm just going to put this into my mixer so I get a smooth puree. If you don't want to have the mango pieces, then you can only go with the puree of 2 mangoes. So now our mango puree is ready, as well as our sliced mangoes are ready. Now I'm just going to take 1 cardamom or 1 elaichi, just separate it from the pod in this way, and just make a powder, that is elaichi powder. Now I'm not using too much of it because you want the flavor of the mango to come through. So just 1 elaichi pod will do. Now I'm taking 1 wati of very fine rava, 3/4 of a wati of sugar, regular sugar. Now I'm going to write all the ingredients in grams as well as cups in the description box below. Now I've taken 1 cup of milk and I'm taking 2 cups of water. And we're also going to use some tablespoons of clarified butter or ghee. Now I'm going to mix the water and the milk together, and I'm going to bring this to a boil on a very low flame. Now in my pan, I've heated about 2 tablespoons of ghee or clarified butter. I'm just going to fry a few cashew nuts in them. That is just for the garnish. And once they're light golden brown in color, I'm going to take them off. Now I'm going to add my rava or semolina to the ghee, and I'm going to fry this really well on a low to medium flame. Now you need to constantly stir this rava, and you will know when your rava is ready because you'll get this beautiful aroma of the rava. Now I'm going to put in the elaichi powder. I'm going to mix everything well together. So frying of the rava took me exactly about 5 minutes on a low to medium flame. Now I've added my sugar. I've lowered the flame, and I'm going to mix the sugar, the rava and the cardamom powder well. Now I'm going to add the diced up mango cubes. Mix everything well together. Now our milk and water is already come to a boil, so I've switched off the flame, and I've also added the mango pulp. Along with giving this a beautiful color, you even get the beautiful flavor of mango in this sheera. It's so unique and really delicious. So if you haven't ever tried mango sheera before, then I suggest that you do give it a try. Since we are in the mango season. Now mix everything very well together, and then we're just going to pour. First, give everything a nice mix till you see everything has become into this mango color and you don't see any white of the rava or the semolina. And now I'm just going to pour this water and milk mixture a little at a time. Be careful because it's really hot, so don't stand too close to the pan. And then I'm just going to mix everything gently. In this fashion till all of the milk starts to evaporate. So then you get this lovely sheera. And now when everything has got mixed well together, we're just going to cover and cook this for another 2 to 3 minutes on a very low flame. Now I have been making this entire recipe on a very low to medium flame. So now you can see that all the milk has evaporated and you can only see a solid mixture, no liquid in it, and just cover and cook it for another 2 to 3 minutes on a very low flame. Now you can see that the entire thing is nice and cooked. Now I'm just going to add a few drops of clarified butter or ghee, give it a good mix and turn off the flame. So this way everything comes well together. And then I've just decorated it with some cut up mango and some lovely roasted or fried cashew nuts. Delicious Goan Sheera recipe. Now let's go through the ingredients. Now here I have 1 cup of Rava or semolina. Now you can use the fine Rava or the medium Rava. Next I have 1 cup of sugar. This is regular sugar. 1 cup of water. 1 cup of milk. Now this is half a cup of mixed nuts, that is raisins and cashew nuts, so 1/4 cup each, and half a cup of clarified butter and or ghee, and a few drops of yellow or orange food color. So now in a pot, I've turned the flame on and I'm just going to add the water, the milk, and the sugar. And I'm just going to stir the 3 ingredients well together on a low to medium heat. And now I'm going to add a few drops of yellow food color. You can even use orange color, depending on what you like the color of your sheera to be. So I'm just using this yellow gel food color. And just stir everything till the sugar melts and let it come to a gentle boil on a low flame. Now in another pan, I'm going to add the ghee or the clarified butter. It's better that you add a melted butter. Then you're going to add the dry fruits and fry them till the cashew nuts turn nice and brown, golden brown, and the raisins swell up a bit. And then I'm just going to take out a little bit of it for garnish. So about 1.5 teaspoons, I'm just going to keep it aside for garnish. And now I'm going to add the Rava or the semolina to this ghee. And we're going to fry this for a whole 1.5 minutes because we want the semolina to get, the ghee nicely incorporated in it. So you can put a timer on your phone and for 1.5 minutes, just fry this on a very low flame, stirring continuously. And you'll get this beautiful aroma of the Rava. So don't skip this step. This is really important for that light and lovely sheera. And now I'm going to add our water, milk, sugar, and food color mixture. See that it comes to a nice boil before you add it. And now you're just going to mix everything nicely together. And now I'm just going to cover and cook this for half a minute, stirring in between just once. And you will see that everything has come together really, really well. So just just mix everything really nicely together. And then after this, what I like to do is I just put the flame off, and I like to just cover and keep this aside for about 2 minutes without the flame on, without any heat on, but just cover and set it aside for 2 minutes so everything really comes together really well. So this doesn't take much time to get ready, but just cover and set it aside for 2 minutes so that everything really comes together well and you get this light and lovely soft and fluffy sheera. And now we are all ready to serve this. So here I've just taken a glass bowl and I'm just going to grease it with a little bit of clarified butter or ghee. And then I'm going to take a spoonful of the sheera. And just press it down like this. Just even it out. And then you're just going to take another plate and just keep it on top of it and upturn it like this. Just tap it a bit. And you'll see that it nicely slides off because we greased it with some ghee. And now I'm just going to put the lovely fried raisins and cashew nuts on top as a garnish. And just for it to look even more pretty, I'm just going to add a few mint leaves. This is completely optional, but it just makes it look so pretty. And that's it, guys. Your lovely Goan sheera is all ready to enjoy with a hot cup of tea or coffee. So I hope you liked today's recipe. Do give it a try and So now that we've gone through the ingredients, let's start making this lovely Kesari sheera. So I have first started by boiling the water because we require some hot boiling water. Then I've taken a pan, preferably a non-stick pan, and heated it up on a low to medium flame. And then I'm going to add about 8 to 10 teaspoons of pure clarified butter or ghee. Now, once the ghee is nice and hot, we are going to fry the cashew nuts and the kishmish till they are nice and golden brown in color. You can also add pistachios, almonds. This adds a nice texture to the sheera and gives it a lovely crunch too. So we're going to fry them well on a low to medium flame. Be sure to keep an eye on it. And once they have got nice and fried, we will take them out and keep them aside in a separate bowl. So here they've got nice and golden brown in color. So I'm taking them out and keeping them aside in a separate bowl to be used later on. Now, since our clarified butter or ghee is already nice and hot, In the same ghee, we are now going to fry our semolina or rava. Now, speaking about the semolina, you get different varieties of rava or semolina. One is the thick rava, one is a little medium rava, and one is the very fine rava. So I am using the very fine rava because this is easier to cook. It gets ready very fast, and the texture also is very nice and light. Because the thicker the rava, then it takes a longer time to cook. So I prefer to use this very fine rava or semolina. It's easily available in the market. So once we finish frying the rava, now you'll come to know when the rava is actually ready, when you'll get the lovely aroma of the rava frying in the ghee. That is the time you know that the rava is nice and fried. So once our rava is nice and fried and our water is also nice and boiled, you can switch off the heat on the boiling water. So we'll continue roasting the rava till we get the lovely aroma of the fried rava. This will take about a minute or two. And now we're going to add this hot boiling water to this fried rava. What this hot water does is it instantly cooks up the semolina or the rava. And now we're going to just cover this and keep it for about a minute. Now after a minute, we are now going to add our sugar as well as our cardamom or elaichi powder. Now since the water is very hot, the sugar dissolves almost instantly. Now you have to mix everything very quickly. And now I'm going to add this lovely saffron or kesar, which has been soaking in some hot milk for about 5 to 10 minutes. And that adds a lovely color to this sheera or rava. And that's why it's called Kesari. Kesari means orange. So you get this lovely orange color to this sheera or rava. Now at this point, I'm going to also add the fried cashew nuts and the fried kishmish or raisins, dried raisins. And we're going to mix everything well together. And then again cover it and cook it for another minute or two. And after cooking it for a minute or two, you'll see that the color has changed to a lovely light orange color. Now you can switch off the flame. And what I like to do is I like to just add a few drops of clarified butter or ghee. That gives a lovely smooth texture to this sheera. And again, mix this ghee or clarified butter well into the sheera. And your sheera is all ready. All you got to do is serve it in some pretty bowls and just garnish it with some chopped up almond. And your Kesari sheera is all ready to eat. Do try out this lovely recipe, friends, and let me know how it turned out. So here I have 100 grams of broken wheat called dalia or lapshi rava. It's easily available in general stores and is very reasonable too. Now here I have half a cup of guar jaggery, also called palm jaggery or Maharashtrian Kadhi. I've just grated it using a cheese grater. Now I'm also going to be using half a cup of sugarcane jaggery or the general, yellow jaggery that you get in stores. This is 1 cup of thick coconut milk, about 3/4 of a teaspoon of cardamom or elaichi powder. I've just used 3 cardamoms and ground them to a fine powder after peeling it. And 1/4 cup of chopped nuts. That is, I've used cashew nuts and almonds. And we're going to use about 3 or 4 teaspoons of ghee or clarified butter. So let's start with today's lovely recipe. Now I'm going to first heat a pan and I'm going to add this dalia or broken wheat, and we're going to dry roast this for at least 5 whole minutes on a low to medium flame, stirring continuously. So don't leave it unattended, but just stir it continuously. This is very important, so don't skip this step. We need to roast this dalia really well. Now you'll see after 5 to 10 minutes it will change, after 5 minutes rather, it will change into a little darker brown color. Now I'm going to add the thick coconut milk and we're going to stir the two really well together. Now this coconut milk is going to cook the dalia. It's very similar to like when you're making something with rava. You add the milk and you let it cook. Now we're going to add the lovely flavor of the goa jaggery and also the sugarcane jaggery. So now we're going to mix this well till the jaggery nicely melts and mixes up with the rest of the mixture. That's very important. And you will see that as it starts cooking, you will get this lovely dark brown color. As the goa jaggery starts cooking with the rest of the ingredients, you'll get a lovely dark color to this dos bhaji or lapshi. Now we're going to add the cardamom powder or the elaichi powder. So I've just peeled 3 cardamoms and then ground it in my mortar and pestle to a very fine powder, or you can use ready-made elaichi powder. Now I'm just going to add a few drops of ghee, say about 3 or 4 teaspoons of clarified butter or ghee. This will enhance the flavor of the dish as well as give it a lovely texture. And now I'm just going to stir the mixture on a low to medium heat, stirring continuously for about 5 to 7 minutes. And you will see that the consistency of this mixture will turn, it will change, it will start thickening, and then you'll get this ghee on the edges. Just scrape it off and, get it to the center like I'm doing when I'm stirring, like that. And just keep stirring continuously. Don't leave it unattended. You can control the heat by making it from low to medium to high, and then after some time, after 5 to 7 minutes, you'll see that the whole thing has come together like this. And our those bhaji is ready. You can put the flame off, and now I'm just brushing a plate. You can also use a mold or a bowl, and I'm just going to transfer this into that bowl, and you can see how thick the mixture has become. And now with the spatula, I'm just going to flatten the top using any flat, you can use a vati also or a spatula like this. And now all we have to do is just garnish it with some chopped nuts. Now I've used cashew nuts and almonds, but you can use any, dry fruits or nuts of your choice. I've just chopped them up roughly, and I'm just going to garnish it with the chopped nuts. And then we have to refrigerate this for at least 2 to 3 hours till it sets nicely, because then we're going to cut it up into whatever desired shape and serve it. So this is really delicious, and it's also very healthy. So I'm going to put it into my refrigerator to set for about 2 to 3 hours or even longer. You can even keep it overnight, and you will see after 2 to 3 hours it nicely thickens and sets really well. And now we're just going to cut it up. So I'm cutting it up just into fours. You can even cut it up into squares. If you're putting it into a square mold, the choice is yours. And you can see that it's nice and all ready to eat. So give this recipe a try, guys.